I think I got it working now. Yep, I think I got it working now. We're going in. Going live, you all. Welcome. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News. I am your host today, Brian Taylor Bridges. I am your host, Brian Taylor Bridges. Welcome to God First Christ Gang Media News, you all. Welcome to God First. Yeah, good evening, man. I just want to come in and really go straight in, you all, and have a discussion and do a part two on this Darlene Bristol case. You know, it really kind of sad and really, kind of bothering to me. And, it was a discussion about mental illness, so forth and so on. And I kind of want to touch a few bases in that area. I was able to previously talk about a few things in regards to demons and what does the Lord say about demons and what does Christ say, and how did they handle all these particular situations, back then, how can we apply them to the day? Are demons real? Do they exist? Do they go from people to people? I mean, what's really going on? This is today. This month marks 21 years of the Andrea Yates case, you all, and I want to discuss that in a few comparables as well. About this particular case. As far as the forgiveness of their husbands and a few other issues that was involved in both of these women lives. Both of these women are being tried and was being tried. Miss Bristol, she hadn't went to court. She just had a court appearance 2 days ago. I share as much update feed as I can about the Miss Bristol case, while I also read you all this Andrea Yates case, because the Andrea Yates case, you all, a lot of you all was not may had not been old enough or not been around when this particular case occurred. But it was a similar case, whereas this Caucasian lady, Miss Andrea Yates, they all lived in Houston, and she had an incident to where she drowned her kids, you all, and she drowned, I believe, to be 4 of her children. I'm gonna read the case, a brief case file, and give you all a quick up to date on it. But however, the lady was convicted of murder, which she should have been, and given a life sentence initially, but all to be overturned to a conviction of just 15 years. Yes, I said it, to just a conviction of 15 years after killing 4 children. So before I get off into all that, I would like to go back and read my copyright disclaimer, although I do have it in the bottom of my video as well. Copyright disclaimer under Title 17 USC Sections 107. Allowances made for fair uses for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair uses permitted by the copyright statute and might otherwise be infringed. Non-profit, educational, and personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. It tips the balance in favor of fair use, you all. Okay, again, I'm getting back off into this case, because like I said, it was just a sad case all around. In this case, Sister Darlene, was in the same type of relationship, same type of controlling, seemed like they had to be of a controlling spirit with these low-spirited men. I don't mean low-spirited as being Christians, because you can be an absolute Christian and a high-spirited Christian, a warrior, a man that stands firm on the word of the Lord and everything that the Lord is professing to you. Everything that's within your home and within your ministry of reach. So and I'll go over a few discussing facts about that. But being Christ-like is not just a forgiving part. It don't just forgive and that's it. That's not all Christ done. He didn't walk around just forgiving everything. He wasn't cool with just everything. For everything. He did give a solution to, but he was not okay with it, just to say that it's cool and that's what it should be. Nor did Christ advise anyone of any kind of medication. I'm sure they had some kind of stuff that doctors and stuff could have whipped up back then, because they didn't. They all had some kind of spiritual doctors. They had a council. They had some kind of people that can whip up something. I'm sure. But in these cases, Christ said that what we should do for demons and about demons is pray and fast. That's all you can do is pray and fast. Lay hands on them. Like I was saying, demons are transferred from people to people. Sometimes it comes from an intimate kiss. These are called soul ties. As are things that we connect with. Now, mind you all that in Matthew, Jesus described about demons, even when he accepted the friendship of Mary Magdalene and those other women of that area, of that era. Mary Magdalene, she had 7 demons in her, you all. Do you all realize that? She had 7 demons that was casted out of her, So, that was just not a spirit of fornication, but they consisted of a lot more other things as well. And I'm going to get off into that. But first, I'll give you all an update on this Andrea Yates, because June this month is actually 21 years to be exact. I believe it, June, 20 years. It's 21 years today. And like I said, I want to read you all a small portion of it before I get back to elaborating a few things about this medication and so forth and so on. And also give you all a small update on Sister Bristol. Okay, the Andrea Yates. 20 years since the tragedy that shocked the nation. Listen, you all, I'm going to show you all, because I do have a clip below. You all are welcome to read along with me, to pick it up, read it later, do whatever you need to do, to catch up, to pretty much catch up. But I would like you all to read. And some of you all that, like I said, I'm sharing this with you all because, like I said, you all wasn't around, or maybe some of you, you all don't remember. But this was 20 years ago up in my area, and our neck of the woods. So it was something that I would like to share with you all. Like I said, it was another mother, and she was a white lady, Caucasian lady that snapped as well. So in Houston, Texas, it was a tragedy that saddened the nation and brought postpartum illness into the spotlight. This was in June of 2020. This was June the 20th, 2020, 2000 to 2001. All right, say, and Andrea Yates drowned 5 of her small children. Not 4, but all. It say she drowned 5 of her small children, about one by one, in bathtubs at her Clear Lake home. Yates, who is now 56, was tried twice for the deaths of the children. In 2002, she was convicted of capital murder and sentenced to life in prison. Her conviction was later overturned based on the testimony. It said a second trial in 2006 results in a verdict of not guilty by reason of insanity. It said Yates was sent to Kerrville State Hospital, a mental hospital facility where she remains today. She has now spent a third of her life institutionalized. It said 20 years after the tragedy, Jessica Wiley is hearing from those who saw the case unfold. Originally, it said Andrea Yates, 20 years later. Yates' former attorney and friend George Purnham shares how the case changed his career and gives a glimpse into her life now. Former paramedic John Delaboso also talked about why he will never forget that dark day. And Joe Umby, led prosecutors in both Yates' trial, discussed the testimonies that led to the murder conviction overturned. She's where she wants to be, where she needs to be, said Purnham. And I mean, hypothetically, where would she go? What would she do? You know, so he just saying where she want to be and where she need to be, which is incarcerated or locked up. This is where she choose. And then he asked him where would she be, or where would she go, what would she do, because it would still be the same for her. You know, it said he was all right. So I pretty much lost my train. Okay, she was Yates, a former nurse. Now, Andrea Yates, at the time, she was a nurse. You know, they was like I said, living in the suburbs. They wasn't living in no poverty. She wasn't living in no poverty-stricken neighborhood. Her husband, he had a white-collar job at the time, and she was an active nurse. I mean, you know, so it couldn't have been too much stress. I mean, not that much stress. They ain't at least had no financial stress. So, I mean, I couldn't even understand why she would have done it neither. You know, I can't say the same for the case of Mr. Bristol in Miss Darlene case, because for the simple fact, he never said where he was or what he was doing. You know, where he was that night, what he was doing. He could have been out there smoking rocks. You know, for all we know, he never said what he was doing. You know, he never even said, well, he said, I'm Christian, so forth and so on, and we should forgive, we all need some medication. I got that GoFundMe. That's what he say. I mean, you know, and, you know, he is going to need some help, but what was he doing before? I mean, how much help? I mean, was he out there working? I mean, like I say, none of these things have still came up. Like I say, he didn't say that he might have a job and be sitting on some. We don't know what's going on or how their lives was, you know. But I know somewhere down the line, a demon jumped into this lady. You know, I don't think it had nothing to do with no medication. You know, she had the wherewithal to know to get her some good hair extensions. I mean, his hair looking all raggedy, like he needed to go to the barbershop or hadn't been to the barbershop in a minute. I'm sure it's not a cultural thing. It just looked like it wasn't combed or groomed at all. You know, so you know, these is one of the things. You know, I'm pretty sure there's pictures around there. You know, I mean, is she looking like the queen and everybody else looking like peasants? Or what's really going on? Because, I mean, that's the way it was perceived to me. Like I said, I could be possibly wrong, but this is one of the things that I observed, personally. And like I said, even with the Andrea Yates case, I mean, she was in no kind of mental state at all. This lady said that she was a bad parent. She killed her children because she thought she was a bad parent. So they'll be better off without me, was her thought. And mind you, their family was Christians as well. Her husband was most forgiving, just like in this man. But I mean, how can you not forgive? I mean, forgiving is one thing, but forgetting and you can't just forgive and then boom, they go free. I mean, they have to pay for what they done for taking lives. I mean, thou shalt not kill. I mean, but you kill, in this case, you kill your own child. And I seen her go to had the hearing a couple of days ago. I can show you all that as well. I mean, she didn't seem to be remorseful, not even in her mugshot videos. Nor did Miss Yates, nor did Andrea Yates. She didn't look remorseful till later on, when the trial went to going on and she went to putting her little flower dress on and wanted to play the sympathetic role. But she had the wherewithal to know all this. I mean, just as this lady, I don't know how much mental illness. Like I said, there's no way to cure a demon. And like I say, that's just my opinion, you all. And I'm going to finish reading this, and then I'll read a brief few things. I even also have a Bible in case you all want to join. And you all can talk about some places, I mean, that I can look it up right here, not just on my phone, but we can get in the book and get it, However, iron sharpens iron, so does a friend, so does a man sharpen the consciousness of his friends. But back to the case, you all. It said she was where she wanted. It said, yes, a former nurse called 911 for help after she drowned the children. Now, Miss Yates, in her case, she called 911. She was just sitting in the backyard. She was aware of what she done, just like Miss Yates. And, like I say, she called 911 after drowning them. She laid out John, one of her children. Man, all her children had biblical names, you all. I don't know if you all are aware of that, but in this particular case, Andrea Yates, I mean, all her children had biblical names. Like I said, they was a Christian, a strong Christian family. But these particular people, I think they were involved in church. They had a church. A particular church that they was with, and they was, involved in it from what I understand. But back again, it says she laid out John, which was 5. She had another child named Paul, Luke, and Mary. Again, you all, she laid out John, who was 5. Paul was 3. Luke was 2. 2 and 6-month-old Mary in the bed. She had another child named Noah, 7, was still in the bathtub, when they came. He was face down and kind of bobbling, it said, in the water. And that's when I realized she drowned him, said the below. So I had spoken publicly about today. It said in the interview, HPD, the 36-year-old, said she killed the children because she was not a good mother. Yates also told Harris County psychiatrist she wanted to save them from Satan. This is what she was saying, that she wanted to save them from Satan. I'm not a good mother. So she thought the best thing to do was to take their lives. She loved those kids, it said, Rusty said. just like this lady said, to a thorough media in 2001. Yates attempted suicide. This Andrea Yates, she attempted suicide twice. And was admitted to a psychiatrist hospital and treated for postpartum depression and psychosis before drowning. Before drowning, the drownings. A doctor warned the couple about having more children, but they did anyway. They went on ahead and did what they wanted to do. And this was the outcome of it, you all. And like I said, it was a sad situation. But, my same thing is, that we all should be forgiven. I do believe in forgiving. I do believe in second chances, Like I say, in this particular case, thankfully, I'm not the judge, I know if I was a judge in this case, I'd be fasting and praying for a whole month. Yep, I said it. Even a judge would have to fast and pray. I mean, because this is something that's, very serious, you all. Very serious. Let me see. I don't know how to. I'm going to end over here. You all join YouTube. Yeah, I think I got it right, you all. I was just trying to share that. But like I said again, you all, man, it's a very sad situation. If anybody out there can know how to cure a demon, you all tell me, Like I said, I had a few Bible verses, and I do also have a clip of that, that I can read, which identifies Christ and the disciples identifying demons, so forth and so on. Like I'm saying, I can't call Mr. Bristol no demon or his wife. I just know they had the tendencies of demons, and like I said, soul ties, man. These are the things that we constantly come and connect with. You don't know who your wife has been involved with if you are out in the streets all night long, 2, 3, 4 days, or however long, we become in contact with demons, and they do as well. Again, like I said, Christ said the only way to handle that is prayer. Because there was some demons that they came across that they said, Lord, you said we was gonna be able to cast them out, and they had faith. Because they did it. They went on and tried to do it. They tried to perform the things that Christ asked them to do, and they came back unsuccessful. He said, well, for them, we're going to need to pray and fast. So that was something that was it was going to take a period of time. He didn't say that was immediately wham, swam, boom, bam, again, like I said, it's not a medication or a drug out there. Cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, they might be out there making demons, you all. And, in my opinion, we need to know, had Miss Bristol had that Omicron shot, because they might be making zombies out there, if you ask me. You all, but I say that for another conversation in another live. But I will be coming back with that soon, but I need to do as much research on it as I've done with this, because like I said, there was a few things that I want to share with you all, and I'm gonna go over next, you all, right fast, a few Bible verses about demons, In James 2:19, you all, it say, thou believest that there is one God, one doeth well, the devils also believe and tremble. The devils also believe and tremble. That's the Lord telling you that it is devils out there, and they are believers too. I mean, it's demons that believe in the Lord. They know he is almighty and all powerful. But just like Iblis, he was casted away. He had too much pride. Too much pride. He don't want to act. Too much arrogance. He wanted his own kingdom. Anyway, so I'm going to keep on going. Matthew 12:43 through 45. It said, when unclean spirits is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places seeking rest and findeth none. Now these are moving spirits. Like I say, they going from person to person to person to person. They moving. They can be transmitted through sex with the wrong people, kissing on people, going from club to club, kissing this person and that person. I mean, like I say, spirits jump. They move, and they can't find no resting place until they find whatever they destroy and kill. I mean, even the Lord said, let me go here. Even the Lord said, I mean, he said, wait, I'm going to get to that. Let me go back to reading where I was before I lose my place in my chain of thought, because I've been moving fast. For if God spared not angels that sin. And this is 2 Peter chapter 2, verses 4. It said, for if God spared not the angels that sin, but cast them down to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment. Man, you see how the Lord is? Hey, man. Hey, because look, that's what I was trying to find, you all. I'm scrolling. But it was the next thing that I had in my little notes. 2 Peter, you all. That's chapter 2, verse 4. It said, for if God spared not angels that sin, if he spared them not, but cast them down to hell, which is the earth, which is a form of the earth. The devil this is headquarters, this is roaming place. So he said to hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved until judgment. I mean, chains of darkness, that's prison, you all. I mean, chains of darkness as it's defined in here and a few more other places in the Bible, chains of darkness. I mean, to be reserved until judgment day. That's until death. Anyway, Mark 9, verse 29. And he said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. But by prayer and fasting. That's Mark 9, verses 29. That's when Christ is, that's when they come ask Christ, you all. Like I said, I'm telling you all, so you all may also go back and look it up yourself. Because I ain't just reading or anything to y'all, and I ain't taking my time to read all this particular portion of what I want to share with you all for no reason, so go back and through your Bibles, you all, and look it up. And it said Mark 9, verse 29 again, and it said, and he said unto them, this kind cometh forth by nothing. That's when they was asking Christ, hey man, Christ, it ain't work this time. Yeah, sure, it ain't work. We tried to do, he said, only by prayer and fasting with them. Because that was a different breed of demons. It had to be. It had to be. Christ didn't handle it. He ain't jumped straight on it. He said we was gonna have to pray and fast with that one. Fasting, you don't just fast and boom. You can't fast in 5 minutes and you say your prayer and then boom, and they heal. All right, Mark 3. This Mark 3, it say, an unclean spirit, when they saw him, fell down before him, crying, saying, thou art the Son of God. They even ran into an unclean spirit that didn't know. He didn't know. This unclean spirit didn't know he was a child of God. He had been living so foul, so long, and he had to be reminded. So these are some of the ways to handle demons. It said Ephesians 6 and 11 and 12. It say, put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Put on your whole armor of God, because he gonna come in all ways, shape, form, or fashion. That's his whole mission, to steal, rob, and kill. That he had got into your wife the way he had entered her, and that he completed his mission. Because even Christ said he ain't come to destroy nothing. Not only if you think about it, not only if you hit your brother, but if you think about hitting your brother, then that's when the act becomes wrong. That's when, because the devil gonna tempt everybody. He even tempted Christ over and over and over again. Was Christ tempted? That's the whisper. That's the evil whisper. The evil thought is what you must defeat. And these are some of the ways to defeat those thoughts. That's Satan. Those evil thoughts is actually Satan trying to penetrate your mind, trying to get you to do wrong, trying to get you to leave your husband, trying to get you to leave your wife, trying to get you to cheat, trying to get you to commit adultery. That's only a whisper. But Christ said that if you entertain this, then that becomes the sin. Then the sin manifests. It manifests in the flesh, but it's coming in the spirit, which is the thought, which is the juster, which is the thought to do wrong. That's when, like I said, the blessing will come when you deny evil. You have to deny the evil. Okay, say James 4. Submit yourselves, therefore, God, resist the devil, and he will flee. Exactly. You have to resist. Same thing what I was saying. You have to deny the thoughts that he put into your head. Luke 8, verse 2. It said, and certain women, which has been healed of evil spirits and in infirmities, Mary, called Magdalene, out whom went 7 devils. 7 devils. That's what I was trying to say in the beginning of this. Luke 8. That's Luke 8, you all. Again, Luke chapter 8, verse 2. And I'm going to read it again. And certain women, which has been healed of evil spirits. That means they was healed of evil spirits. But before, these same type of things that dwelled in them. In infirmaries, Mary called Magdalene, out whom went 7 devils. Now we all heard the story of Mary Magdalene and what she meant to Christ. And what she meant to the body of Christ. Because she was somebody. She had to be. If she wouldn't, they wouldn't even added it to the scripture. Jude. That's J-U-D-E. Jude. Chapter 1, verse 6. It said, and the angels which kept not the first estate. The angels which kept not first estate, but left their own habitations, he had reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment day of the great day. Again, there was Christ and the disciples defining how what happened to some of them demons. He had reserved, some of them was reserved in everlasting chains. We seen how they locked Jesus and them up. Some of them was chained to brick walls. Some of them was chained inside pyramids, so forth and so on. But they endured in these chains under darkness until the day of judgment. They died. They was crucified in these particular places. There was ways, to defend demons and fight demons. Like I say, I don't see nowhere say medication, nowhere in scripture. But I'm not saying that medication don't help some of these situations, because I believe it do. But like I say, it's just only a temporary fix, you know. And Matthew 12:22. I got two more I would like to share with you all. It said, then was brought unto him one possessed with a devil, blind and dumb, and he healed him, in so much that the blind and the dumb both spake and saw. You know, so they was full of demons. They couldn't even talk. They was illiterate, couldn't speak and see. You know, they went on to see better. Like I say, everything in the biblical text is not described in a physical sense. You have to also look at these things in a spiritual sense. You know, or a spiritual metaphor, so forth and so on. But Matthew 10, you know, Matthew 10. So in that case, I'm going to go back to say what I meant to say in it also was in a spiritual sense. He began to speak better. He began to speak life. He began to see things in a different perspective, you know, gave him a different path, you know, a different path or a different understanding, so forth and so on. And last but not least was Matthew 10:1 was the last one I want to share with you all. It said, and when he had called unto him 12 disciples, he gave them power against the unclean spirit. When he called the 12 disciples, right then, they was manifested to be able to fight against the unclean spirits. Because God picked them. You know, they happen to be 12 disciples of Christ the Lord. But God picked them. Yahweh, the one and only, the great I am. He picked them 12. It said, and when he had called unto the 12 disciples, he gave them power against the unclean spirit to cast them out and to heal all manner of sickness and in all manner of disease. That he gave us the power to cast them out, to lay hands on people. Like I said, it's hard to lay hands. Some demons out there jumping you. They'll jump in the pastor, because they done went down there and touched them. You know, it's a great responsibility and a duty to get out there and lay hands on people. Because a lot of pastors ain't going to move. They ain't going to go out there and touch people like that. They not going to tell the people in church that there's demons out there like that. They not doing that. You know, they just telling the people to go on, put them, use the white folk medication. That's why everything is some kind of mental illness thing right now. That's to give us more access to drugs. They want to sedate you. They want to take your ability to think, take your ability to cope, take your ability to rationalize. That's what drugs is all about. You know, it don't have nothing to do with nothing else. They ain't telling you that it's demons out here, that we living in Revelation, that this the last days. They not sharing none of that with you all. They saying this medication. We need more. We need more. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, whatever it is killing y'all. We need more of that. Everything is mental. Y'all need to hook them up. That's all it's about. You know, these are the plagues. You know, these are the plagues of death, plagues of drugs. You know, all this killing. This the plague, the revelation. You know, and that's what they not telling us. This the secret. This the big spiritual secret that the government is keeping from everybody. You know, and that's just my opinion. That's just the way I see it, you all. Like I said, I didn't want to tear it too long, but I just wanted to share that and give, like I said, a different understanding and a different perspective on demons and angels and medication and all that, and who crazy and who ain't. You know, we said Christ was crazy. Everybody said Christ was crazy, and they say everybody crazy. I'm crazy. They talk about everybody I know crazy, in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But are they really crazy? No, only the Lord know that, Like I said, I didn't want to tear it too long. I did share some of the update about this particular man, but man, they could have cloned Mr. Bristol, put Mr. Yates right up in there. We don't know what's going on with these people, man, but it's something fishy. Call first crank game. We are. Bless you.